and how do I even start this video? How do you do that? Like, what do these YouTubers do? Okay. What's going on, everybody? I am Zack Peter. You probably know me from either my podcasts or one of the other really big gigs that I have is I'm a freelance writer. Writing for a bunch of different sites, Conscious Magazine, Green Child Magazine, Men's Health, and most notably Popsugar. So I've published many articles on Popsugar, and so I'm basically what they consider a contributor. I'm not an actual staff writer, I'm not an editor, I'm just a freelance contributor. So I figured I would share the steps that I took and share what I did to help me land this regular gig with Popsugar, and hopefully it'll help you land a future writing gig or just a gig in, whatever field you're looking to do. You always have to think about how you want to get noticed and how you're gonna not necessarily outsmart the system. I think we're all pretty smart already. Trust me, there are some brains under this blonde bleached hair. You want to make sure you're getting noticed and you're not sleeping your way to the top. Been there, done that. It doesn't work. One thing that I think is really good, which I did when I first started with Popsugar, is I actually went on the websites of the different publications that I was interested in writing for. So you really want to make sure that you're aligning yourself with a publication or a company that matches your voice, maybe gives you a little bit of a growth edge, and also is in a realm that you're really good at. Like, look, me, I don't like robots, I don't really like tech shit, but if that's what you're into, then go look at the websites, go to techlovers.com. I don't know if that's a real thing, but sounds like something a tech lover would like. So find a site that actually represents your interests and, that meshes well with your voice. Like me, I love pop culture and entertainment, but there are some sites that I think I might not necessarily be the best fit for. Then what I like to do is type it in. So let's take Popsugar, for example. Say Popsugar writing jobs, Popsugar submissions, Popsugar contributors, Popsugar writers wanted, all of these key terms that are gonna search the internet for opportunities that are gonna be available to you. I think I put Popsugar contributor, and then from there it led me to a page where there was an open call for people to send pitches into the Popsugar team, and they would consider it to be published on their website. I was like, okay, well now I have to think of a really creative angle and figure out how I'm gonna get noticed, because I'm sure there are a million people that want to write for Popsugar and a million people that are sending pitches that are probably not gonna be great. Now, I was familiar with Popsugar, I read Popsugar, but I also really wanted to make sure I understood the tone of Popsugar. Obviously, you can follow them on Instagram, you can read a couple of their articles or kind of stay pretty consistent with their content, but you really want to make sure you dive in and see what their voice is. And then once you've really figured out the tone and angle of most of their articles, then you're like, okay, what's something that fits within their niche? There were really three things that I wanted to make sure that I did to stand out from everybody else that was probably sending in submissions. The first one is I wanted to get noticed. So I wanted to come up with a concept that was simple enough and evergreen enough to make sure that it was something I could see on Popsugar and something that I knew I could deliver on. I decided I would do a book roundup, and I think I called it the books that got me through my quarter life crisis, because I was like, that's timely, it speaks to the audience, it's something that's relatable, and it's easy, it's a roundup, it's a book roundup, which is great, and it's something that I could see on Popsugar. Which leads me to number two, which is make sure it fits within their realm. So make sure that whatever you're sending them is something you could actually see on their site and similar to content they've already published. So in this case, it was a book roundup, and it speaks to the audience, which is in the millennial demographic, which is the quarter life crisis. Lastly, I was like, okay, so this is a really good pitch, it's a really good concept, and so I was like, let's get creative and let's make sure, since this is my first cold pitch to the company, how can I guarantee, or at least give myself a leg up to see if I can really, get it published. It wasn't too long after their co-founder, Lisa Sugar, had just published a book called Power You're Happy. And I was like, oh, I've actually read Power You're Happy. What a great way to merge it. It's obviously an organic, natural piece, but that it also incorporates their co-founder, which is something they're more likely to publish. And that's not to say the Popsugar is biased to only people that want to feature, content from their co-founder or from their founder, but it's also, a little thing that helps them know that I understand the Popsugar world. I've already read this book, which fits in line with this roundup and is perfect for this site. So it was just kind of all the pieces matching up together, and it worked out because obviously the piece got published. So from there, I wanted to make sure, strike while the iron's hot, get in there, get another pitch going. So I, with a former employer, was going to this event called the Natural Products Expo West, or just short for Expo West. It's this ginormous event with all of these, like literally a plethora of, all of these different vendors in the natural foods and natural products world. I mean, it's like health and wellness on crack, natural foods on crack. Kill two birds with one stone. Well, I'm going to this event for my company. Why not actually look for other products that would be good for roundups that I could see on Popsugar? I decided to pitch them an idea on top new innovative natural foods that'll be coming out to be on the lookout for this year, because this was still at the beginning of the year. I also knew that they didn't have any writers going to the event already, so this would be a unique angle. It was around that I already knew. It was for one of the subcategories on the website that they were already used to. I figured if I could do enough of these evergreen, good pieces, then I'm pretty sure they'll bring me on with a more regular gig. Where you really have to do some investigation, look at which subcategories really fit your niche, and come up with creative angles that have already worked that you can continue to build from there. I think the two that are the most common are personal essays and then these roundups. And I think the roundups are a little easier and don't require as much work, which look, at the beginning, if you're not guaranteed a certain paycheck or a certain gig, then you want to make sure you put in the work, but if it's not going to work out in the end, I've been there where it's you do all this work and then you do all this work and then you do all this work and you're like, I'm definitely going to get this, and then you don't end up getting it. And then you have to start the process all over again with another company, with another site, with another brand. And it's ugh, enough already. Just assign me already. I just want somebody to validate my writing skills.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. My God, I'm here.
So I definitely think personal essays and roundups are a really good way to kind of start. That's what I did with the book roundup, which was my first piece that I pitched to them. And then the natural products roundup, which I did from Expo West. With Expo West, once I had already published a piece for Popsugar that showed that I was established with an actual publication, and then that, was able to get me into more of their events so that I can do more pitches for Popsugar. You have to think about the long game that you're playing here. So just to recap, one, you want to make sure that you're pitching a really evergreen concept, something that can last on their site, that doesn't necessarily have to be unique to you, but that you can put a unique twist on. Two, you want to make sure you fit within their realm, you fit within their niche. So in this case, I chose book roundups for people in their 20s, and then I chose natural products, which would fit nicely on their fitness team. So make sure you're really within a niche that would go really well on their website. Make sure it's an evergreen piece. Make sure it's something you can definitely see on their website. And then lastly, see if you can find a way to add some sort of creative edge, either, showing off your level of expertise or getting into an event that, might not normally be easy to get to, like getting into Expo West. Expo West is freaking expensive. So you want to make sure you're really kind of finding something creative to give you a bit of a leg up. So whether it's, incorporating something that's from their founder, or, incorporating, maybe there's a holiday coming up and then you can do something like with Valentine's Day. Okay, I can do a Valentine's Day thing. Just do something that's gonna have some sort of that's gonna give you some sort of creative leg up, and something that really kind of makes you unique and lets them know that you are worthy of writing this piece for their website. Now, Popsugar actually has a whole contributor network. You can actually go, I wanna say on their homepage, there's an option to click write for us, and you can apply to be a writer. You have the different divisions that you can send them pitches on. There's a whole forum online, so it's a lot easier and they've streamlined it a lot more. So I would love to say that I've just opened up the doors for you to come right in. You have options, is basically what I'm saying, and things have gotten easier, so make sure you really do your research, and with Popsugar, you can get in. So go and get in right now. I've really been able to learn a lot. I've been able to grow a lot. The editors have been really great with kind of pushing me. So, I think opportunities like this are really good, whether you want to be a full-time writer or a freelance writer, or you want to write for one company or multiple companies. It's just really good to kind of build up those credits and build up the experience and learn as you go. Be sure to subscribe and let me know if you want more videos like this, more like how-tos to, refine your career credits or your writing credits, or if there's, something that you're out there seeing me do and you're like, I want to know how to do that, whether it's podcasting or writing, whatever it is, let me know. Leave it in a comment below. And be sure to subscribe, because I like that validation and I want to continue to do more videos like this. So, go. Thank you. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's really important too. I love when people follow me on Instagram. It just validates me in the way that my parents never did.